Hi Ryan, thanks
No,
for
of course,
joining.
mate. Happy to help.
Hi Ryan, thanks for joining the A Person Two podcast. How are you doing today?
Doing well, thanks, mate. How are you?
I'm not bad, thank you. My day's definitely been a lot better because you've joined us today. But you've had a long journey, obviously, to get into where you are now. Tell us a little bit how's that been and how tough has that been?
It's been a long journey. I started playing basketball at a very young age, and it's been a big part of my lifetime now. To get to goals and reach goals that you have as a young kid, you got to put in a lot of work, and it's been a long road. It's had a lot of ups and downs, but I wouldn't change a lot of that for anything. You know, the journey is just as good as the destination when you're working and playing professional sport.
Who inspired you when you were younger?
Probably my mom. Just she's a single mother raising four, and we had a tough upbringing and had much, but she always worked really hard and made everything we could to get through day to day. And she got everyone through sports and everything mother should, but she had four of us, and she kept we kept her very busy, but she was an inspiration. It takes and to go about it in the right way.
Right, so obviously you've had a tough upbringing. You've told us about that. Do you think that helped you stay strong and continue going? Because obviously you've had a tough journey, went to college, went undrafted, being in and out of the NBA. Do you think that helped you staying strong and keep on going?
Yeah, in some way, definitely. A tough upbringing, and you know, for me and my siblings, especially for me, I sort of saw, what's at the end of the tunnel. What do I want from my life? And eventually, when I have a family, what do I want that to look like? I want my family, and if I have kids, and I'm lucky enough to have one now, that I don't want them to go through the same stuff that I had to go through. I want them to be a little bit more comfortable, to be in a stable household. Have both parents around, that sort of stuff. That was sort of a motivating thing for me. And basketball during that time, during difficult things like that, was my escape. I could kind of forget about the troubles at home and whatever else at school or anything, and I could just focus on basketball and go out there and have fun and play with my friends. And it was a way for me to kind of deal with a lot of those things and get a break from that. So I always sort of jumped into basketball and was playing as much as I could, and fell in love with it from a young age, and it really helped me in my personal life as well. So I think that kind of helped motivate me, and taught me, how to find ways to deal with your problems, and how to stay strong and how to work hard, and it's helped me through my basketball journey.
Mm. So you've been to America with college in Indiana, and you've been to the AIS, and you've been all over Europe. How's
Mm-hmm.
that been? How's that journey going to all these different places? I assume by yourself. How was that?
Yeah, it has been a lot by myself. It was daunting at times. It was hard being away from family and friends. But it was an exciting opportunity that I couldn't pass up at that age. I left home at 16, 17, and moved to Canberra, went to the Australian Institute of Sport, and loved my time there, made some amazing friends, really learned what it takes to be a professional basketballer, what it takes to be a man, become a lot more independent. And then off to college was, a few years later at 19, and moving halfway around the world without too much of a support system, and kind of having to start fresh. It took some time to adjust, but again, you have to kind of be open to these new challenges and accept them. And basketball obviously allowed me to make friends pretty quickly at those two different places, and it sort of built a lasting friendship from those relationships that I built during that time. And then going over Europe was just another challenge. It went from basketball becoming something that I love to do and a big passion for, to not only that, but being a career now, and being paid, and the pressure that comes along with having performed day in and day out. And I moved to Istanbul, Turkey by myself, country doesn't speak a lot of English. Obviously, didn't have near the support that I did elsewhere. So I was lucky to go through a few big steps, and become independent, and learn how to take care of myself and the right things to do, and allowed me make that transition a little bit easier.
Mm. So you went to college, obviously in Indiana. Going undrafted, how did that feel? What effect did that have on you?
I kind of expected not to be drafted. I had a really good last 2 years at college, but I just kind of assumed that I wasn't getting that much interest from scouts and NBA teams, and going to a smaller Division 1 school. There's not as much coverage. So I kind of accepted it. I still worked as hard as I could. I went to a few different teams to try out before the draft, and thought I did fine. But unfortunately, it's not everyone's path to go straight from college to the NBA. And for me, it's always kind of been that roundabout way. So I just took it as another motivating thing, that I have to get better and I have to improve. And going over to Europe was the best place for me at that time to do that. And it took me 5 long years of working over there before getting a chance at 27 years old to finally make an NBA team.
How was it to get that big shot, go to the NBA and go to a place like Dallas that was pretty exciting at the time with people like Luca coming in? How was it?
It was a dream come true.
Mm.
Had goals from a young age about that, and to finally get the call after what had been a long process to get there was a big relief. But it was just a new challenge that I had to kind of get myself up for, the biggest and best league in the world. And there's so much competition to get there and to stay there. So I knew I had to work even harder. And I was lucky enough to kind of get in there at Luca's first year, his rookie season, and sort of see him and how he was developing, how good he was going to be. And it was also Dirk Nowitzki's last season in Dallas, and he's a NBA legend, and is so loved in that city. So kind of seeing his effect, and also his example. He was, I think, 41 at the time, and not moving around too freely. He had obviously injuries over his career that had taken its toll, but he was still one of the first ones in, getting shots up, getting work, and one of the last ones to leave. So if that guy can put in that kind of work at his age and with what he's done, then there's no excuse why I or anyone else shouldn't.
That's fair. After being there for 2 years, did you get released from your contract, or did you
Yeah,
just go to Philly?
no, I got released not
How
long
was that
before.
feeling?
It was tough. It was difficult. So I'd finally started to play a little bit, and then unfortunately broke my leg, and then sort of took a little while to come back from that, and then sort of try to sort of find my feet again. And it's just such a tough business. And unfortunately, I was released, and it was a difficult time. I had a young family, and we're pretty settled in Dallas, and we had to kind of figure out what was next. And then a few weeks later, COVID hit and shut everything down. And yeah, we're kind of in just a bit of a holding pattern until sort of the Philly opportunity came, and we went down to Philly. And this was just before the bubble, the NBA bubble, where they finished the season in Orlando on the bubble.
Hmm.
Excuse me. And unfortunately, my wife, who has an underlying condition, this was very early, obviously in COVID. She contracted it just as a couple of days before I was supposed to leave with the team down to the bubble. So we had a 1-year-old son and a sick wife in a new city with no friends or family or any support. So I had to forego that opportunity to go down there with the team and do what I had to take care of my family. And no regrets about making that decision. I'll always put my family above my career. But yeah, it was obviously a tough little period, and then I had a training camp invite the next season with Philly, and things just didn't work out. It's just nature of the business, and I've enjoyed my time, and hopefully I may have one more crack at it, but if not, I at least got to say I did it and worked as hard as I could, and got to achieve a dream that I had since I was a little boy.
Yeah. How hard was it learning the NBA business and how stuff works, getting released from Dallas, feeling like you settled there, but having to leave after 2 years?
Just trying to understand that it's not a, a personal choice made by the team. It's not because I was being a bad person or not doing the right things. They thought from a business perspective that they could bring in someone who could help them and try and push for the playoffs, and being sort of a one of the newer guys, and obviously not making as much money as some of the other guys, taking up the salary cap, that I was sort of an easy one to move on from, and make that swap. So I understand it from a business perspective. It was always obviously difficult from personal, being settled and having a young family, and being happy there. But it's part of being a professional athlete. There's the things change very quickly. You have to be ready to adapt and find the next opportunity. So yeah, so it was difficult, but it's part of life, and we had to figure it out and move on from it.
You then got to move to southeastern Phoenix, Melbourne. How was that?
It was good. It's been good to come back home. Obviously, being from Frankston, southeast Melbourne Phoenix, to the closest team to where I grew up and where I play with basketball. So it's been really nice to come back and get once obviously now COVID's kind of over with, we can get back into the community and get out to schools and reconnect with the community around this area, and for me, getting back around schools that I grew up in and went to, and friends went to, it's been really nice. It's been a really kind of full circle moment to kind of come back to where it all kind of began, and enjoying playing, being back playing, and we have a really good team this season. So hopefully, now that I'm getting sort of later end of my career, the championship, professional championship, is one that I haven't ticked off the list yet. So I'm hoping to do it here.
That would be nice, I guess. Uh, what do you what? How's the leagues been for you? Obviously, playing the EuroLeague, playing the NBA, playing the NBL. What do you feel like the differences are between all those three leagues?
Uh, the NBA is just full of the best athletes you'll ever play against. Plus, you factor in the level of skill that they have. It creates such a amazing combination of talented players. It's such a hectic schedule over in the NBA with 82 games, and you're on the road constantly, playing back to back. It's amazing how they're able to kind of keep everyone up and running, and how they perform night in, night out. Europe is a lot more technical, a lot more team orientated. Very talented players, maybe not with the same level of athleticism, but it's on a little bit sort of more condensed court. The 3-point line, the NBA is a little bit longer than everywhere else, so it's a little bit more spread out. In the NBA, a little easier probably to score, whereas Europe, it's more compact. It's a lot more team orientated and a lot more about ball movement, and um, you know less about sort of, I guess, individual players making great plays, but the team doing all the right things to get everyone shot. So, and the NBL is kind of a mix. It's full of great players and great athletes. It's a very physical league down here in Australia. but it's ultra competitive, top to bottom. We've got great individual players who can make plays. We've got you still need to work really well as a team to create for everyone else. So it's kind of the mix between those, I would say.
Mm. So 2020 was the Olympics year. You missed out on that due to your mental health. How was that? How did that feel? Because obviously we got bronze that tournament, and you missed out. That must have felt terrible. But you had to put yourself first, obviously. So talk us through that, please.
Yeah, it been a difficult time leading up to that, and just things from my past, from my childhood, just everything seemed to sort of culminate and boil over at the wrong time, and you know, whether I would have made the team or not, I just didn't feel that I would put my best foot forward if I went to camp, and just didn't feel that mentally I could, I guess, go through the pressures of that. Playing for your country, there's nothing better, but there was so much anticipation for the team to hopefully win a medal and break through. I just didn't feel that mentally I was there to give everything that I needed to give to help the team do that. So it was difficult making that decision, but I don't regret it. I needed that time to get away from basketball, to find the happiness back in my life, and instead of sort of just going through the motions, really connect with my family again, with my son, and just get back to being happy and being a good person, good father, and um, so it's watching them win the bronze. Like, I had obviously a little bit of mixed feelings. I had um, great happiness to finally see them break through and to feel some small part of it, but obviously wishing I was there at that point as well, but knowing in the back of my mind that I wouldn't have been right to do it. It was sort of a big mixed bag of emotions, but sometimes you just have to make the sacrifice to for me to prolong my career and to bring some happiness back in my life, which in the end will mean more than than that at that point.
Mm, that's amazing for you to acknowledge that you need to take time off and take off that time, especially at a very big moment in your life and in the country's life. Yeah.
Thanks, mate.
So, uh, for other people going through that stuff, what advice would you give them to get through it?
Just know that you're not alone. Um, know that there are people that care for you. Um, that it's not a sign of weakness to go out and seek medical help, to go speak to somebody. I had to do that, and my wife had been telling me for quite a number of years that I really should, and I guess I didn't listen. I guess I thought I knew better, that I could handle it all, but no, it's not about whether you can handle it or not. It's about making sure that you're not affecting those around you, and you're being the best version of yourself. So go find someone to talk to. Find the help that you need. Don't feel any shame or embarrassment about it, because there's a lot of people going through a lot of different things. So you're not alone.
Mm. Who are the people that helped you out the most during everything during your whole life and all that?
Um, Look, definitely my family, my mom and my siblings. They were a big part of, especially growing up, and ever since I met my wife, 10 odd years ago now. She's been the one that's sort of held it all together, held me together, and we have a young family, a young son. She's the one who is is carrying a lot of that weight. Me still playing basketball, still travel a lot, and still busy very often. She's the one that at home making sure that everything is working, is running smoothly, is being held together. So she's my rock, and I love her dearly for it. And once basketball's over, then I'll probably have to do
Yeah.
a little bit more around the house. But no, she's an amazing person and very lucky.
Mm. During like your whole basketball career, what's been like the best moments? Because you've got to live out your lifelong dreams. There's what are like some stories or moments that you'll remember forever?
Definitely the Rio Olympics. Represent your country. As I was kind of saying, there's no better feeling as an athlete than doing that. Obviously, first NBA game. That was a big dream of mine from being a young kid. What else is there? I hit a big game winner in college. That's something that I'll be able to physically show, my kid and whoever else wants to see, because I try and show everybody. Just sort of moments like that. But for me, apart from those kind of moments, it's been the friendships I made, the people I've met along the way, the people that have helped me. That's what I really, I guess, looking back on now, really have enjoyed. Going through the struggles and all the trainings and everything with the teammates, and they're the people that you grow very close to because you're going through the same thing each day with them. So all the friends and stuff I made along the way are really important, and very much cherish those friendships that I've made.
Mhm, mhm. What advice would you give to people who want to get to the same level, who want to play NBA or NBL or get to the college level?
You need to work hard. There's no quick method. There's no easy method. It takes a lot of hard work, a lot of time spent shooting the basketball, training, working out in the weight room. It's a sport you need to be dedicated to. So first of all, just putting in the time and effort to get better, and you only have to get just a little bit better each day. But it's very very important, and you've got to enjoy it. You've got to be able to enjoy what you do, whether it's basketball or anything else in life. If you're going to enjoy it, you're going to stay motivated, and you're going to find ways to keep getting better and to push yourself. So those are two big things for me. Is as long as I'm enjoying playing basketball, then I feel like I can. I, I'm motivated to do a little bit extra to get some extra shots, to spend some extra time doing it, and I see the rewards afterwards. So yeah, enjoy it, work hard, and I guess sometimes this is just a bit of luck with coaching and selection for teams and stuff like that. But always try your best and try your hardest and have fun with it.
Yeah. NBL too. The NBL has a new season underway. What are your goals for the upcoming season?
We have a really exciting team. I think we're finally getting over sort of the injuries that we had. We missed quite a few guys to start the season, and now we're starting to get everyone back and everyone on the same page. So I
Mhm.
think from us personally, we've got a really good team. Just whether we can put it all together at the right time and gel, but really excited for this season and hoping we can stay everyone can stay healthy and we can do some damage and have a really good year.
Mm. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a pleasure to have you here. Good luck on your upcoming season and on the season. And I hope you guys do really well, even though I'm a United fan. Yeah.
Oh,
Uh,
you didn't tell me that before we did the interview.
yeah, I should have told you. I had to get to the end.
No,
Um,
smart man, all good.
yeah. Thanks again, and it's been a pleasure, as I've said, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.